be ill. You must look after yourself better. And you need a fridge. You can't keep eating out of tins. Did you get Grandma's letter? She asked me to ask you.
Yes, I did.
And have you answered her?
Not yet.
Oh, well, please do write to her. She's not well. Tell her about your job at the library.
I'm not there anymore.
Oh, Andy,
they let me go.
Why?
I don't remember.
I thought you liked it then.
I think they were overstaffed. I didn't have much to do.
Oh, well. Chin up and all that. Oh, never mind, you've got to keep positive. Mind over matter.
Yes.
What, you're so busy scribbling at?
Words.
Oh, what sort of words?
Italian words.
Do you learn in Italian?
No, I just like the words.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. Why don't you take a class? It'd be good for you.
Yes.
Keep you occupied.
Yes.
Making the cutest that I've ever seen. Give him two lips like roses in clover. And tell me that my lonesome nights are over. How's my lovely boy?
I'm trying to remember something.
Well, don't hurt your head.
Andy, what are these?
They're my pills.
Do you really need some more?
I need them. Do you remember that day at the beach?
What day was that, my love?
We only had one day.
Did we?
Why don't you remember?
My memory isn't what it was. Still, I don't look so bad, do I, considering?
You found a shell. It was pure white. And you held it up to my ear so that I could hear the sound of the sea. Where was it? At the beach, I mean.
I don't know. Mine's been like a sieve ever since they did that to me. I think it was Margate. Or was it Southend?
I want to go there. I want to find it again.
Might even be Brighton.
I wish I could remember.
All beaches look the same.
Desmond took us in his car.
Did he?
He
Oh,
rolled,
yes!
He rolled his trousers up and went for a paddle, and we laughed at his white, hairy legs. It was just before... all that happened. You were so happy. We laughed at lots of things that day. Do you remember we tried to find a stone with a hole in it?
Did we?
Why can't you remember?
I'll do my best.
You gave up, but Desmond kept looking. He found one in the end.
No, he would. He'd never give up on anything he set his mind to.
I remember the sunset covering over everything like a big red blanket. And clumps of wild flowers growing by the verge where we'd left the car.
We played I Spy to pass the time while we waited for him.
You do remember.
Comes and goes. I remember he nearly got stung by a jellyfish.
He said he was a man of war, and that a sting from one of those could be fatal.
And then he sobbed because we couldn't stop laughing because we hadn't left him any sandwiches.
He gave the stone to me. For luck, he said.
Oh, no cups and saucers. We'll have to make do with these mugs, I suppose.
Listen.
You kept it all this time.
Can you hear it? It's the sound of the sea.
What's the matter?
They sound like they're screaming.
Are you going to marry Desmond?
No, but don't tell him.
He thinks you are.
Well, you'll just have to think again then, won't he? Wish Desmond would hurry up. Got to get back.
Why?
Because I don't want to keep David waiting.
Why? What will he do? Will he hit you?
Oh, don't be silly.
Are you going to marry David?
Never you mind.
Desmond thinks we're going back to his for tea.
Oh, he knows we're not. He just wants me to be late. Mwah.
Where are you going?
Back to the car.
Where'd you keep your teaspoons?
So you got me all what?
Teaspoons.
Oh, I think I've only got one.
Oh, well, one's better than none, I suppose.
I was just remembering the day at the beach with Mum. There weren't any other people there that day. Only us and Desmond. It was strange because it was a hot day. I think now that they must have known that Mum was there.
Andy, what are you talking about?
They knew what was going to happen. That's why they stayed away. I remember the sea sparkling under the blazing sun. I remember the sand getting in our sandwiches, and Mum lighting a cigarette and leaning back against a rock with her arm around me and us sitting there together like that for a long time, just looking at the sea. I don't remember any other people. And that's when I realised that they'd stayed away because they didn't want to see her as she really was.
Andy, I don't understand half of what you're saying, and you worry me when you talk like this.
They didn't want to see her looking happy. They didn't want her to haunt them. That day, she called me her pale little city boy and promised we'd go back there, to that beach. We never did. What are you doing?
You do know that half these are out of date, don't you?
Yes, we'll leave them, aren't we? I'll do it.
Well, you should throw them away.
No. I'll do it.
You'll forget.
I won't.
Well, it's all nice and clean now. We could have grown mushrooms in those cupboards.
Oh, I forgot to get biscuits.
Oh. Doesn't matter. Really, it doesn't.
I wanted to get some nice ones. For us, some chocolate ones.
It really doesn't matter.
I wish I hadn't forgotten them. I'll go and get some. There's a shop just over the road.
Look, Andy, it's all right. If it means that much to you, I'll go myself. I better get some milk as well and some sugar.
Your tea will get cold.
No, it won't. It'll be fine. Oh. Just be a few minutes, love.
Hey, Mambo Italiano. Hey, Mambo Italiano.
Hey, Mambo Italiano. Guess what I got in here?
A shell. You got me a shell.
How did you know that?
You asked me to guess, so I did.
Oh, clever boy.
Not really. I knew you'd bring me one back from Italy.
It's the only one like it in the world. I've wrapped it up carefully so that it won't get damaged, and so that the sound of the Mediterranean Sea won't be able to get out of it.
Does it sound different to our sea?
Yes. The seas have different languages, just as we do. And Andy, wait till you see it. It's simply bellissimo. But don't open it now. Look at it later after I've gone. Oh, ho, ho. You mixed up Siciliano. Hello, Chiquibisia. You get happy in the fiesta when you mambo.
Italiano.
I should have taught you to dance.
I don't think I would have been any good.
Il mio ragazzo. Il mio anno. See? I speak Italian. Say, mi amore.
Mi amore.
It means my love. You're my love, aren't you? My real love. My one and only love. Now say, Conchiglia.
Conchiglia. That's a nice word. What does it mean?
It's the word for a shell. Una conchiglia. La conchiglia. Mwah. Arrivederci. Ciao.
Don't go, Mum.
I have to. David's racing at Silverstone this afternoon and he'll get in such a tease if we're not on time. He's all edgy anyway when he's racing. Mwah. Ciao, love.
Conchiglia. 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 La Conchiglia.
Right. Keep the milk in a bowl of cold water away from the windowsill. Honestly, I don't know how you manage. I do wish you'd get a fridge. A second-hand one will do, as long as it works.
Do you remember the pad compact? The one that played La Vie en Rose? She loved that song. She knew all the words in French.
She didn't understand them, though.
No, but she liked to pretend she did.
She had the record and used to play it over and over again.
Wish I didn't have to wear these. Gets on my nerves. She liked lots of songs. She used to sing in the bath. I liked to listen to her sing.
She was terrible when she was young. She spent hours in the bathroom. Oh, Dad used to bang on the door. Come on, Rosemary Clooney. He'd say, what do you think you're doing in there? Right, well, that's everything put away. You've got some proper food now. And there's some fruit there. Don't let it go off.
What do you think happened to it? The compact, I mean.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what happened to any of your mother's things. People took them. Reporters, police.
I'd have liked something to remember her by. Not just photos. Something of hers, her perfume, especially her perfume. What was the one that she always used to wear?
Oh, when we were younger, she used to like evening in Paris. And so did I. It wasn't expensive, but it was nice. It was a dark blue bottle with a picture of the Eiffel Tower on the front and a little black rubber stopper. Later on, her favourite was Chanel No. 5.
No, that's it. That's the one I've been trying to think of. I remember it being on her dressing table.
Oh, Desmond used to buy it for her.
I like to watch her dab it behind her ears. She'd see me watching her and she'd pull faces at me through the mirror and make me laugh. And then she'd chase me around the room with a perfume bottle. Happened into it all. Her clothes, her jewellery, her perfume.
Wish I knew.
This is the only thing. This is the only thing that I've got that I know that Mama's touched. She used to put my sandwiches in it for school. I hated school dinners.
We are talking about your mother.
Well, she did sometimes.
Oh, I remember this one.
Grandma cut his head off.
David? What about this one?
Georgina.
No, it isn't. It's you.
Is it?
Your father bought you that white pram. Andy bought you a cot. You were such a good baby, always laughing.
Oh, I always thought it was Georgina. Oh, I did mean to show you this. I got the address from the Canadian Air Force. It was when I was working in the library. People would come in and look things up in the reference department. That's what gave me the idea.
Deceased.
Yes.
I'm sorry, love.
That's life. That's what the people say. Do you think he would have wanted to see me?
Of course he would. You're his son. You got his name. Claire Andre McCallum. He wanted that, and so did your mother. She used to joke they could keep the name even if she had a girl.
Didn't stop him leaving us.
He couldn't help it. It was a war.
Was it?
He did love her.
Just not enough.
Oh, he wasn't as sick as that.
If he hadn't have left us, if he'd have taken Mum and me back to Canada with him, none of it would have happened. But he couldn't, could he? He was married.
The war was a strange time. We had to try and get the most out of life. We never knew whether we'd be alive to see another day. Everybody was a bit reckless. It was the only way we could get through it. Never forgotten the sound of the doodle bugs, and the awful screams, and then the silence as you waited for them to drop. We had dresses Mum made us out of parachute silk, and off we go to the Hammersmith Palais. Your mother's didn't last long. She split it under the arms jitterbugging one night.
I'd like to have known Mum then.
I wish she was a terror. Nothing scared her.
Not even the doodle bugs.
Oh, not even then. We were out dancing at Locarno one night when the air raid went off. Oh, everybody scuttled for the exits, but not her. Oh, no, no. She wanted to listen to the song she just put on the jukebox. I was on pins. Will you hurry up, I said. She just screamed. Oh, don't be daft, she said. They never drop bombs on the carpet. And anyway, I like this song. That might even have been the night she met her father. I can't swear to it. She loved the Americans. The way they talked, their smart uniforms. But we all did. But once she met Claire, that was it. He was a nice man. He thought the world of you, of both of you, and don't you ever let anyone ever tell you any different.
I didn't know whether to say anything about Mum in the letter.
What sort of things? I mean, he'd have had to have known what had happened. He would have had to live in Timbuktu not to know.
Yes, but I don't mean about that. I said some little things I thought he might have liked. Like how she always kept his St. Christopher in her purse, and his photo on her dressing table, well, until David, that is, and then she put it away. Still, none of it matters now, does it? Now that he's dead and it's all too late. I wish I'd known him. He had a nice face. I always do things when they're too late. I must take after Mum. She was good at being late. I remember David telling her once she'd be late for her own funeral.
I've got this one. It's one of my favourites.
Did she love me?
How can you ask that?
I always felt she did.
Well, there you are then. You were everything to her, and so was Georgina.
I remember the day Georgina left.
So do I. She was fast asleep when Ruth Ellis came to take her. Terrified. No. Talk of the devil, here he is. Twice as large, and twice as ugly.
I never knew why Mum married him.
Security.
He was older, years older than Mum.
He was a professional man, a dentist. All she wanted was a settled life for you and for her.
I never liked him.
Well, not many people did.
He was always sucking strong mints.
That was to disguise the smell of the gin. Imagine that. Leaning over people, reeking of gin.
So one day he had any patience.
Well, he didn't in the end.
Do you remember that old new raincoat he used to wear with the collar turned up like Humphrey Bogart?
Silly old fool. She certainly knew how to pick 'em. Still, all water under the bridge now.
All gone away. Flying, forgotten as a dream. Must be nice to do that. To fly forgotten as a dream. I had this Archie Andrews dummy. I used to make its eyes move and mouth snap up and down. I used to tease Georgie with it. I shouldn't have done. It frightened her. Oh, by the way, I haven't told you. I saw her about a month ago.
You saw Georgina?
Up in Leeds. She'd been on the cover of a magazine. That's how I found her. Some photographer had made her up to look like Mum. She did too. Almost exactly.
Is that where she lives now?
Oh, I suppose so.
Well, didn't you tell her?
No. We met at the station and had a cup of tea in the buffet. She didn't stay long. She had something she had to do or somewhere she had to go.
Is she married?
I don't know, she didn't say.
Did you ask?
No, does it matter?
Well, what did you talk about?
She talked about herself. And about her modelling and about how she'd been out with George Best.
She didn't want to know about you or about me.
No.
Did she give you her address?
No.
So you went all that way up there just for a cup of tea in the station buffet? Well, you've seen her now. Let that be that. If she doesn't want to know about us, we don't have to worry about her.
She's got Mum's eyes. You've got Mum's eyes too.
She's about 16 there. She liked having a picture taken. Talk about vain. Mind you, so was I in those days. We loved to go along, get all dolled up, you know, and go strolling along the seafront, making eyes at the boys and then at us.
Now, Muriel, could we get her a stone, do you think?
It'd probably get vandalised.
Oh. Would it?
I expect so. There'll always be them who do it for just fun, you know, wreck it, steal bits of it, much all sorts of.
Oh, well, she thought about us. She didn't do that, did she? She didn't think about us.
Oh, you don't know the state she was. I mean, she wasn't able to think clearly about anything.
Not even about us. About what it would do to us.
Nowadays they take her state of mind into account, but they didn't then. It was all very black and white then. It's true she could have done it. She could have done a bit more to help herself, but she'd gone beyond any sort of, what's the word, rational thinking.
It was one of the hottest days of the year. Milk curdled in the bottle, butter melted in the packet, and ice cream sales went through the roof. Outside Holloway Prison, the crowds of ordinary men, women and children hammered on the heavy oak doors, shouting their disgust at the so-called British judicial system. While inside the prison, the warders were stunned by the composure and bravery of the young woman as the final minutes of her life ticked away. Time seemed to stand still that day. You could almost feel it holding its breath.
July 12, 1955. I have been advised by my solicitor to tell the whole truth in regard to the circumstances leading up to the killing. And it is only with the greatest reluctance that I have decided to tell how it was that I got the gun. I did not do so before because I felt that I was needlessly getting someone into possible trouble. I'd been drinking Pernod in Desmond's flat, and Desmond had been drinking too. This was about 8:30 p.m. He had been drinking for some time. I was in a terribly depressed state. All I remember is that Desmond gave me a loaded gun. Desmond was jealous of David, as in fact was David of Desmond. I would say that they hated each other. I was in such a dazed state that I cannot remember what was said. I rushed out as soon as he gave me the gun. He stayed in the flat. I rushed back after a second or two and said, "Will you drive me to Hampstead?" He did so and left me at the top of Tanser Road.
July 13th, 1955. It's a fine day for haymaking, a fine day for fishing, a fine day for lolling in the sunshine. And if you feel that way, and I mourn to say that millions of you do, it's a fine day for a hanging.
I am now content that my affairs will be dealt with satisfactorily. Would you please ask my mother to go to David's grave with flowers, pink and white carnations? Ask her to do it for me. I did not defend myself. I say a life for a life. I have spoken the truth, and I want you to make the truth known for my family's sake, and for the sake of my son.
You won't forget to write to Grandma, will you?
No, I won't forget to. Shall I write to George as well?
George? Not George Ellis. He's dead, you know that.
No, I don't mean him. I mean George Rogers, that MP who looked after me.
Why would you want to do that? Anyway, he might not still be alive, Andy. It was a long while ago, nearly 30 years.
Doesn't seem a long while ago.
Oh, I know. Doesn't to me either.
Told lies. Such a lot of lies.
Oh, he meant well.
I know.
He was kind to you.
Yes, he was. He was kind. But I couldn't understand why I was there. I was only told that it was what Mum wanted. I wrote to her care of the post office in Rome. I often wondered what happened to the letter. I still do sometimes.
Listen, can you hear it, Andy?
Yeah. It's the sound of the sea.
Oh, keep going, Nick. Help! Help!
This is the news at 3 o'clock. We begin with the latest developments from Holloway Prison.
Aww. I wanted to listen to Journey into Space. Didn't we, Archie?
Well, I thought you and me might go and find a park.
I want to listen to Journey into Space.
I thought we could, have a kick out with a football, spend a little time out together in the fresh air, somewhere out of London, And we could take a drive out, find a nice park a few miles away in the country. Would you like that?
I don't want to go to the park. And I don't like football.
Nonsense, all boys like football.
I don't. Why can't I go out by myself? I'm old enough now. I go on tube trains and all over the place. I don't get lost. I know my way around ever so well. And I can always find my way back.
I'm sorry, old son. Not while you're living here and I'm responsible for you.
But I haven't got anything to do. And I haven't got anybody to play with.
We could have a game of cricket, if you like.
I don't have cricket.
Well, tell me what you do like to do.
I already have. I like to go on tube trains. And I like to go out by myself. I like to listen to Journey into Space. I wonder what I see Mummy. She hasn't married David and gone on one of those honeymoon things, has she? She wouldn't have done that without telling me, would she? Where is she?
Your mother's gone to Italy.
When's she coming back?
Well, I'm not sure.
She didn't say goodbye.
She didn't have time. It was a sudden assignment.
What's the assignment?
It's another word for a job. She got a job modelling beachwear, that sort of thing.
She might bring me a big seashell. Like the one she found on the beach. We had our picnic. You could hear the sea inside. I left it behind though at Desmond's. I couldn't bring all my things with me. Can I write to her? I asked her.
Well, she moves around a lot.
Oh.
Well, I suppose you could try writing to her care of the post office in Rome.
Can I? Oh, good. Will you give me the address?
It's just the post office, Rome, Italy.
There he is. Hey,
There he is.
good boy.
No! Don't go this way!
No, I thought you can't tell me what to do!
Down right now, come on! Now, come now, don't be like that.
I hate to hear it. I want to go back to school.
Well, you can't, it's the summer holidays.
But I left before the holidays. Why? Can I go and live with Auntie Muriel so Mummy comes home?
I'll see what I can do. Come on. Cheer up. Better?
You hurt me arm.
Well, I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to.
That's all right. I'm sorry I said anything. I don't really miss Rogers. Those men outside. Who are they?
Reporters. They're trying to take my picture.
Why?
Well, because I'm a politician. Because reporters are always trying to get interviews with politicians.
But it was my picture they were trying to take. It was my name there.
Well, you've made them curious. They're wondering who you are.
How did they know my name?
Well, there you've got me. Probably someone from my office, maybe my secretary, perhaps. They have their ways and means. That's why they're reporters. Well, young man, if you don't fancy keep out with the football, then I'm off to do some work.
What sort of one?
Oh, reading and writing letters to people.
That's not.
I'm afraid it is. Well, anyway, I'll be in my study if you need me.
Can I put Journey into Space on, Archie?
Journey into space. civilized world. That's what the Melbourne Argus says. And what else have we here? A burden on that country's good name. That's what Sweden thinks of us. France is absolutely appalled, and so is America.
I don't want to listen to Journey in Space. Anthony won't let me. It's horrible here. I hate it.
For goodness sake, show a little sensitivity and stop harassing us. I'll issue a statement tomorrow from my office. Now, for goodness sake, just go away and leave us in peace.
Why have you come to see me, of all people? The answer is karma, cause and effect. You know we're all atoning for things in one way or another. It doesn't matter what happens to us in this life because we've got other lives to live after this one. We just go on and on, you see, until we reach a state of perfection. Nirvana. You're a well-educated young man. You must know the principles of Buddhism. I've immediately accepted to try and help you because I felt there was already between us a contract of sorts. Yes, you see, we may have worked together in a past life. Perfectly possible. I want to help to get your mind off its current fixation. I know a man who's a keen Buddhist and a very fine psychiatrist. The man I have in mind would want to know the case, so that you could feel, so that he could feel the agony you must be feeling. That would be a starting point. Dig up the lump, you've hugged it, and you can't let it go. We'll get you some help. Pull out the lump.
My mother? The lump?
To dig it up, to get rid of it once and for all. He'll want to know about everybody from your point of view, how he felt about it.
People tell me David wasn't very nice.
David? Ah, yes.
He was good to me.
Well, that's what the root of your problem, because of your liking for Blake, was it?
Blakely.
Ah, you're feeling disloyal to your brother.
I only said he was good to me. I didn't say I liked him.
Don't you normally like people when they're good to you? Well now, shall we take the next step? Are you quite clear that I may have a talk with this chap?
How much would you tell him?
I tell him you were troubled because you felt perhaps all the facts weren't brought out and sentenced.
I know they weren't. That's why I've come to see you. To try and understand about my mother.
Now look, I don't want us to get bogged down in all that. It was a simple case, open and shut. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. We don't want to go over all that old ground. It's gone. Done with. Finished. What's there to understand?
There's a lot to understand. A lot I don't understand. A lot I need to understand. Want to understand. You were there. You were the prosecuting counsel. It was you who...
Are you all right? Would you like a glass of water?
Silly old fool. How dare he call me a lump?
At midday, the grave will have been dug and the chaplain will have read the burial service. The secrecy of it all shows that if compassion is not in us, then at least we still retain the dregs of shame.
Why did you want to do that? Torture yourself like that?
I thought he could give me some answers. I thought he could help me make sense of things.
What, that Christmas Humphreys? If it hadn't been for him, your mother probably would still be alive today. No wonder he became a Buddhist. Guilty conscience. None of it came out in court. None of the important things. None of the things that mattered. So, did you get your answers?
He puts it all down to karma.
Father, I never heard such rot.
The lies. Nobody would tell me the truth. They were all liars. I should have been with you or Grandma. You should have told me, Aunt Muriel.
Do you think I don't know that?
I wish you had.
You can't imagine the stress we were under, what it was like. It was terrible. Right up to the end, we were hoping for a reprieve. That's the only thing that kept us going. That's why nobody told you anything. We couldn't believe it was hopeless. We just couldn't. We buried our heads in the sand, even though it was around us all the time. You know, the press, the radio. We just couldn't believe what was happening.
And what about afterwards? When it was hopeless? When it was over, when you had to believe it. Do you know how I found out? Do you, Aunt Muriel? I was doing my English homework and I'd used up all the paper in my exercise book, so I went to Mr. Rogers' study. The door was always locked, but I knew where he kept the key. I'd seen him drop it into a vase of dried flowers on the hall table. I went in and the first thing I saw was the radio. He told me he'd taken it to the repairers, but it was on his desk. I opened the top drawer of the desk and found a large scribbling bag. It was just what I wanted. And I was about to close the drawer when I saw the folded newspaper that had been underneath it. I wondered why it had a photo of Mum on the front cover. And then I saw the headline. I think I fainted. Although I don't remember too clearly. I think I was ill. A whole chunk of time seemed to disappear.
You came home to me. I'll put you to bed.
Yes, I remember. I remember getting out of George Rogers' car. I remember seeing you waiting for me at the door.
You needed a haircut.
So anyway, I knew then why I'd been taken out of school before the holidays, and why reporters wanted my picture, and why the Rogers' house was also so quiet, and why, when visitors came, they spoke in whispers, and of course, why he wouldn't let me listen to the radio.
You should have been with us, not with George Rogers, but we felt that he could help you more than we could, and it was what your mother wanted. He did a lot behind the scenes, using his influence, trying to help her, organising petitions.
Petitions?
You buy yourself too much. But the trains get your nerves. You're mine.
I like it. I like the trains.
It'd annoy me. That constant rumbling.
I go on them a lot. I try and find the beach where Mum been happy. I haven't found it yet, but I will one day. I go wherever the trains take me. I watch the places go by. All the different places. Different houses. Different people. Everyone different to everyone else. I wonder about their lives and what they do behind their windows. Sometimes I see Mum. Sometimes she's in a garden. And she looks at me. Sometimes she's standing in a door. Sometimes she's on a platform. She always looks so happy. I always see Mum when I'm on trains. That's why I like. Sometimes she comes here too.
She doesn't, Andy. You know she doesn't, and I wish you wouldn't say things like that.
Did you get the chocolate biscuits?
in the cupboard. Don't forget to eat the fruit. They'll do you more good than biscuits. Well, it's time I was going.
Muriel, do you ever have nightmares? Do you?
Sometimes.
I have them all the time. I see her when I go to sleep. I dream about her. I see her when I wake up. I get no rest on Muriel. No rest from it. I've got no room for anything else. I sort of stopped when I was 10. Like a clock stop. That's how it is with me. That's exactly how it is. The dreams never end. They never stop. They never go away. What can I do to stop them? What can I do?
I don't know. You spend too much time alone. It isn't good for you. Try and get yourself another job. And make some friends and go to a class. Learn your Italian properly. Will you do that?
All right.
You promise?
Yes.
Come, give me a hand. If you need anything, you know where I am. Oh, and don't forget to give that
Free shares.
And don't forget
to write to Grandma.
Goodbye. I'll come and see you again soon.
On the hour of 9 o'clock then, short of a miracle, you and I and every man and woman in the land with a head to think and a heart to feel will, in full responsibility, blot this young woman out. The hands that place the white hood over her head will not be our hands. But the guilt, and guilt there is in all this abominable business, will belong to us as much as to the wretched executioner, paid and trained to do the job in accordance with the savage public will.
My baby flows up the line, angels high above you, watching the little baby from the sky. Take the baby, Andy is dead! I don't want that baby, take it, hide it! I can't bear to look at it. It's David's fault, it's like that, it's David's fault! It's David's fault, it's dead! Cover it up! Cover it up! Do I look alright?
No. Not really. They said you were dead.
Oh, I am. But I've taken a day off to come and see you.
Can we go home?
No. We don't have a home, do we? Not a proper one. We never did.
It was nice at Desmond's. We can go back there.
Oh, no, we can't. We're not going anywhere near that two-faced snake in the grass.
Well, what about Grandma then, or Auntie Muriel?
Oh, you're such a funny boy, aren't you? You can't live with anybody when you're dead. You're just not the same anymore.
Mum?
Couldn't be helped. Had to be done. Eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, isn't that what they say?
Can't they mend your neck and make it better?
Oh, it's too late for that. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Mummy together again.
Did they hurt you?
No. It was quick. It was ever so quick. They snapped my neck just like a stick. Oh, David sends his love. We're supposed to be going to the Carno tonight, but They've made such a mess of me. I don't feel in any fit state to go dancing.
Born on a mountain top in Tennessee, greatest state in the land of the free. Bang, 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 sing what we promise. Bang, 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 bang.
Some time after the chimes of Big Ben have died away, the medical officer will have gone down to the pit under the trapdoor to see that life is extinct. Then, in the barbarous wickedness of this ceremony, rejected by nearly all civilized peoples, the body will be left to hang for 1 hour.
Milan Conchiglia.
Sì, per te bambino mio. Go to sleep, my baby. Close those pretty eyes. Angels high above you, watching little Andy from the sky. Great white moon is shining, stars begin to peep. It's time that little Andy McCallum is far asleep. I'm very sorry to have caused you this misery and heartache. I shall die loving your son, and you should feel content that his death has been repaid. Goodbye. Ruth Ellis.
Des ennuis, des chagrins, des phases heureux, ennui. Oh, qu'il me prend dans ses bras, qu'il me parle tout bas, revois la vie en rose. Il me dit des mots d'amour, des mots de tous les jours, et ça me fait quelque chose.